Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shad, Ba'ashem, Shakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Much peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, you brothers and you sisters, wholeheartedly waiting upon the Lord Yahweh to send his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to deliver us from this captivity. To I say Shalom. This is going to be a in-transit video titled "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." And this is a quote from Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, dealing with persecution. Dealing with persecution, because we are in a time of persecution. The Northern Kingdom is currently being pursued by Esau, Edom. They're rounding them up, ICE. They're rounding them up and deporting them, and they got this whole thing with alligator Alcatraz. They're which really just shows you the evil works of Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man. He hides behind the title of being white. In actuality, he's red, and he's the wicked according to the scriptures. Let's grab Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever." So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has created these particular people, this particular nation, to be the wicked. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord Yahweh hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So currently, we're living in evil days. We're coming into Jacob's trouble. We're coming into World War III. We're coming into the salvation and the destruction of America. These times are coming. Daniel 12 talks about the time like never before. Timothy, behold, perilous times. So these Edomites were created to be death, destruction, and ultimately a whooping stick unto Jacob. This is Revelation 6 and 4, and there went out another horse. Horse represents power. That was red. That's should ring bells within your mind. Why is this horse red? Well, when you look into the history and you go into Genesis, it talks about Esau coming out red all over like a hairy garment. So when he came out of his mother's womb, he wasn't hairy. No, he wasn't white. He was red. You could Google newborn white babies. The majority of those babies are going to be really pale or really red, especially when they start crying. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So this is a representation of the Edomites, starting with these elites, right? That great sword, it was the blessing that Isaac gave him, and he's using it to covet fields and to take them by violence. He's using this sword to beat the nations into subjection. But now they're starting to lose control. They're starting to lose power. The agenda is being rushed, as it is written. The crafty devices let's see, are carried headlong. Job 5 and 12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So when you look into the word headlong, it goes into rushing, to make haste. They're scrambling to come up with the different things they need to implement in order to get this thing rolling. You got the RFK talking about he wants people, the American people wearing more wearables in 4 years, within 4 years. It's always within 4 years. They're trying to get this thing done before 2030. And one of the, beautiful thing the brother brought to my attention, at least, is that within 4 years is within President Donald Trump's what's the word? Presidency. I'll just put it, his term, right? His 4-year term, within his 4-year term of presidency. So they're trying to get this thing established while the cruel Lord, as it is written in Revelation, the 19th chapter, is in the power seat, so-called power seat, right? So now this cruel Lord is making these adjustments, and they're setting up these different prisons, right? Alligator, Alcatraz. There was another one, I forgot the name, I can't think of it right now, but you brothers that know, you see. And they're coming after the Northern Kingdom. Whenever they came for the Northern Kingdom, what happened right after that? The Southern Kingdom got touched too. You see? So the Lord has put the spirit on these Edomites to put the beats down on 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Let's grab maybe 7. This is 1 second. I think I'm in the wrong book. Yep, Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh. You see? Because they're on the left hand. From men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance unto their babes. You see? And that goes back to Psalms 49 and 11, where the inward thought is that they shall let's grab it. You see, so these Edomites are a whooping stick unto Jake. 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Right? So this is the characteristics. This is the attitude. You can read Micah 2 of the Edomites. So the next step, even Yahushua told us that persecution was coming. Matthew the 24th chapter. Let's see here. This is Matthew 24:9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. You see? So persecution is coming. They're going to deliver you up to be afflicted. That's why he said what he said to the church in Revelation 2:10, which this was the church of Smyrna. Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. So it's not you being put into prison because you're wicked. It's not because, now 2/3 will be put into prison because they're wicked. They're going to get their ass whooped. They're going to get beat up. Some are going to die as well. However, if you're a man of the Lord, you're doing his work. You know, you're serving the Lord to the best of your ability in this flesh, then, and you are of the elect, then you could be put in concentration camps. You know, it might not be for every brother's lot to be put in concentration camps. Some brothers will be beheaded. Some brothers will make it, get out, to hide out. You know, for none of those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. So it's a test. A test of what? Of faith. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. This is a set number, right? It could be 10. It could be a month. Shit, we don't know. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So even if you die, even if you're on the verge of death, you got to stay firm in the faith of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know? And Yahushai, he was put on the cross, man. Suffering for hours. He died for us, man. Right? That's as it is written, we have not resisted unto good. But it's coming soon. Persecution is coming. So we have to continually prepare our minds and prepare our spirit for the things that are about to come upon the earth. Because the scriptures say, which is 1 Thessalonians 5:1, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night, man. You know, society's going to be operating, things is going to be happening, do whatever, whatnot, and next thing you know, all hell breaks loose. Next thing you know, Yahushua is returning. Next thing you know, the destruction is here. You see? So it's going to take a lot of these people unawares. Verse 4, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the light, of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as others do, or as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day, you gotta watch people nowadays, man. Let's see. Yep, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. You see, and you can keep reading on this chapter, because it's comforting. But that's the point. We are not of the night. We are of the day. We are the children of light. Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Ratazah. We are of the elect. See? So, and that's something that's been on my spirit to say often, recently, is, if you're getting cast into a prison, man, don't lose faith. If you get cast into a prison, if you get, locked up. Now, I'm not saying you out here in the streets fucking up, you know what I'm saying, being a nigga, being wicked, doing all kind of crazy shit, and police come around your ass up and put you in the cell. I'm not talking about that. However, when the society starts to really crack, and when, they're starting to implement the MOTB and make it mandatory, right? And they're rounding up the Haitians and the Jamaicans and all these different tribes to deport or cast them into the prisons, and you get rounded up as well, right? Don't lose faith. If anything, rejoice in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that he has put you in a position to not only glorify. Bro, Daniel was in the lion's den, in the midst of hungry lions, for a whole week. They didn't feed these lions. I can't remember how long the duration of time, but they didn't feed these lions for a while. They were hungry lions. And Daniel, little old Daniel, was in the lion's den, praying to the Lord, waiting on the Lord, and the Lord shut the mouth of the lions. And he even sent Habakkuk through the traveling of an angel to feed him in the lion's den. So not only are you in the midst of lions who are hungry and maybe thirsty for blood, but you're eating in front of them a cooked meal for multiple servants that was set up through the Spirit to be for Daniel. So you can only imagine, bro, put yourself in that position. You in the corner of a lion's den with some food smells amazing. You know, back then, Jake was, come on now, Jake cooking out. You already know Jake was getting it down back in the ancient world, man. You already know it was spices, herbs, all different type of seasonings. It's right, smell great. You already know the motherfucking lions salivating, but they can't do anything. Why? Because the Lord shut their mouths. So imagine that. And afterwards, Daniel praised the Lord. And at the time, it was I think it was Darius came. Oh, Daniel, are you still there? Yes. He glorified the Lord. You have a power in heaven. There's a power in Israel. There is a God in Israel, and his name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahushua. That's why we glory. That's why the scriptures say, that's why the scriptures say, those who stood stiffly for the names of the Lord. Because it's our power, man. See? So don't lose faith, man. Hold on to your faith. The Lord is coming, man. He's got a reward with him. So I'm going to end it there. I pray this is edifying and faith boosting. Only of all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shalom.